This is the way it looked 6 hours ago as the new millennium came to the City of Lights, Paris, France. It almost looked like the Eiffel Tower was going to take off as we watched one of the most impressive midnight celebrations in a day filled with extraordinary sights and sounds. It is Friday night, and the big story on Action News tonight is the countdown to midnight and the start of the new millennium. We have been watching this millennium clock now for the past couple of weeks, and it has now wound down to less than an hour, just 59 minutes ago, before the big moment. And in Philadelphia, the focus of attention now turns to Penn's Landing. Crowds are gathering here to take in what will be the biggest fireworks show ever in Philadelphia. They are using 6 barges to hold all of the fireworks, and in some of them, the 12-inch variety, they'll be exploding 1,000 feet in the air. The shells for the fireworks were made in China, Italy, Japan, and the United States, and there is no date chip in the computers used to control the fireworks, and so there is absolutely no chance that a Y2K bug could spoil the party. The world began celebrating the new millennium at 5 a.m. our time when midnight came to the South Pacific island nation of Kiribati. At 10 o'clock our time, Japan ushered in the new year with a colorful celebration. And this was midnight in Moscow as Russia marked the new millennium against a backdrop of a major political story. Boris Yeltsin resigned as president today. An interim president will serve until elections take place in 90 days. An hour after Moscow, the third millennium took hold in the very place where the first millennium began, Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus. At the same time, 5 p.m. our time, the Acropolis was ablaze with light and fireworks in Athens, Greece. At 6 p.m., the Pope addressed a throng at the Vatican to officially usher in the new millennium for the Catholic Church. And again, this was the scene in Paris as their celebration focused on the country's most recognizable landmark, the Eiffel Tower. And in London, fireworks lit up the Tower Bridge and in fact spanned 4 miles along the Thames River. An extraordinary sequence of celebrations across the world. And of course, we're not finished yet. The Millennium Philadelphia events began bright and early this morning. 2,000 people dressed up as Rocky Balboa reenacted that famous run up the steps of the Museum of Art. At the Please Touch Museum, they celebrated at noon today, and that's because most of the little ones won't be awake when midnight rolls around. And the centerpiece of this celebration was a 2,000 made of Oreo cookies. It was enjoyed with cold glasses of milk. More than 600 couples took part today in a group wedding at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. Many of the brides and grooms were dressed in traditional wedding finery to either renew their vows or say them for the first time. Mayor Rendell and federal judge Marjorie Rendell presided.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You're the best.
After the ceremony, the couples danced to the song We've Only Just Begun. That was the first dance at the Rendell wedding 28 years ago. Each couple posed for official wedding portraits, and each also received a wedding cake. And the William Penn statue atop City Hall is also in the spotlight for the Millennium celebration. The statue is now illuminated with 50,000 watts of light. It will be lit every night as a permanent addition to the Philadelphia skyline. Chopper 6 was in Center City tonight as the switch was turned on to light the Walnut Street Bridge. It is one of 7 bridges in the city across the Schuylkill that were lit tonight, all designed by Raymond Grenald of Narberth, the guy who lit Boathouse Road 20 years ago. Officials say the bridges will remain lit throughout the year and serve as a lasting souvenir of the Millennium Philadelphia celebration. The Avenue of the Arts came alive tonight with a light and laser show. 100,000 watts of light illuminated the Avenue of the Arts for the laser show, which was choreographed to a musical retrospective of the past 100 years. Philadelphians enjoying a light and laser show along Philadelphia's Avenue of the Arts. Crowds at the Pennsylvania Convention Center have been welcoming the year all day, and now they are less than an hour away from the biggest celebration of all. Lisa Thomas Laurie and Mark Howard have been at the Convention Center tonight, and they're now live with us. Mark, Lisa?
Hi, Jim. We've been having a good time. The crowds have been coming and going, and we have, you but we haven't gotten the crowds, the kind of crowds that we anticipate a little bit later in the evening. We can hear a singer. This woman just told us she's from West Philadelphia, and the crowd seems to be mesmerized by her lovely voice. You can see them milling around here having a good time, sipping, drinking, wearing the New Year's hats. They're getting ready for a grand time. And
of course, the big event here will begin at 11:30, an hour-long show with music from the entire century. Every decade they'll have songs, performers, and balloons. Tens of thousands of balloons will come down here. So 11:30 to 12:30, big show right here live, and everybody is pumped. I think in the course of the day, there have been thousands of people in and out.
In and out, right.
In and out, yeah.
We want them to come in and stay a little longer. They're calling it the Live Midnight Blowout Show, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. We're looking forward to some fun.
We're ready. Jim?
Lisa, Mark, thank you. Now let's go live to Cathy Gandolfo at Penn's Landing, where the crowd is getting ready for the biggest fireworks show Philadelphia has ever seen. Cathy?
That's right, Jim. That's what they're saying. And the folks have been pouring into Penn's Landing here in anticipation of what's being billed as the biggest fireworks display ever for these parts.
Philadelphia will do it up. You know, New York and no one else has anything over Philadelphia, right?
Right. And all night long, visitors have been pouring into Penn's Landing. Forget the fancy parties. They say this is the place to be tonight.
Well, I just think it's going to be a lot of people, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and the fireworks are always spectacular here. So we'll see.
I heard they were be doing all these lasers and all, and I came down here to see them.
Are you going to stay up that late?
Yeah, I am.
Are you allowed to?
Mm-hmm.
Penn's Landing has several tents set up, including this one, where folks can stop in, warm up, and pick up some Millennium freebies. The 2000 glasses have been a big hit. One woman said she'll wear them again next year when the new millennium really begins.
So next year we'll wear them again.
Wear them again.
Yes.
Okay. She'll wear them.
I'll wear them again. Then I'll put them away for the next 50 years and they'll be an heirloom.
Well, folks are really having a good time down here, anxiously awaiting the arrival of the year 2000 and for the spectacular fireworks display to begin. Live in Penn's Landing, I'm Cathy Gandolfo, Channel 6 Action News. Jim?
Having fun at Penn's Landing, Cathy. Thank you. Now, so far, it appears as if preparations to head off Y2K computer problems are paying off. The new millennium has come and gone across much of the world without any major problems. The United States passed a critical early test at 7 p.m. our time. That's midnight Greenwich Mean Time, and that's when computers that control airline traffic, power grids, and military operations moved into the new year. One local Y2K problem there is to report tonight. A computer glitch shut down hundreds of slot machines at Delaware's 3 racetracks. The problem cropped up yesterday, and that's because the main computer sends the machines a command function 3 days in advance, and so the slots, which were not Y2K compliant, processed Thursday's command as January 1st, 1900 instead of January 1st, 2000. They shut down. They tried to fix all of them today. Most, but not all, are working tonight. So far, there are no Y2K problems with local utility companies. Let's go to a live picture now of PECO Energy's control center in Philadelphia. PECO says everything is fine at this hour. One of the 2 nuclear reactors that did shut down today at the Limerick Nuclear Power Plant, but PECO says that had nothing to do with Y2K. Bank officials have told Action News they are confident there will be no problems with ATM machines in the tri-state area, and in fact, as midnight has come to other parts of the world, even in underdeveloped countries, ATM machines have worked with no problems. And this is a live picture at Philadelphia International Airport. Y2K apparently scared off all kinds of people from flying tonight because the terminals have been all but deserted. In fact, airlines have canceled some of their flights, and those that did arrive in Philadelphia were almost empty. Meanwhile, there is no indication of any trouble in the skies because of Y2K. The countdown to 2000 is also underway in the nation's capital tonight. President Clinton, the First Lady, and daughter Chelsea welcomed guests to a New Year's Eve dinner at the White House. During a toast, President Clinton said his greatest wish for the nation in the next century is unity. The president and his guests will join thousands of Americans at the foot of the Lincoln Memorial for a party to say goodbye to 1999 and usher in the year 2000. In New York tonight, more than 1 million people have jammed into Times Square to await the descent of the lighted crystal ball. There has been nonstop entertainment throughout the day, and of course, you can watch the ball drop at Times Square right here on Channel 6. At almost 13 minutes after 11 o'clock now, let's take a look at the status of Y2K preparedness in the state of New Jersey. Correspondent Michele is live in Trenton, where city and state officials are standing by in case there's a problem. Nora?
Jim, we're here at State Police Headquarters in the Emergency Operations Center, where so far everything is A-OK as far as Y2K is concerned. No problems have been reported at all as officials watch the clock tick down to midnight and the millennium rollover.
So far, we've been through 11 time zones, and we haven't seen any real problems yet.
But at least a dozen agencies are prepared if that changes. All of them represented here at the Emergency Operations Center, the nerve center for monitoring any and all kinds of problems that could develop at midnight.
Acts of terrorism, utility failures, things of that nature. We're not anticipating anything, but we want to be ready just in case.
We've had a whole host of state agencies on board. No one's reporting any problems. We don't foresee any problems.
Emergency management offices from all 21 counties in the state must report into the Operations Center, which can develop an immediate response if trouble strikes. For now, it's a tedious waiting game.
It's a long evening already, and we anticipate that nothing's going to happen as far as the National Guard is concerned, but we're ready.
Officials are reminding the public not to use 911 for anything but real emergencies tonight, and the governor says she's keeping her fingers crossed that there will be no Y2K glitches.
The signs of success for the millennium turnover is going to be that no one notices. It's going to be a New Year's Eve like every other New Year's Eve, with perhaps a little more excitement in the parties.
And Jim will be standing by here at State Police Headquarters in case there are any developments after midnight. Live in West Trenton, I'm Michele. Now back to you.
Thank you, Nora. In Philadelphia, one dangerous New Year's Eve tradition is the practice of firing guns in celebration, and police want that stopped. Action News reporter Michele McCormack has been riding with police officers tonight.
Is it gunshots or fireworks? In Kensington, you can't be sure, but you also can't take any chances, especially on New Year's Eve. We are riding along with 12-year police veteran John Conway, and at about 9 o'clock, there were already reports of a man shooting a gun out on an open sidewalk. Here's what happened when we showed up, along with the officers, at the house in question.
56? Good. Go ahead, man.
Come on, answer the door, man.
Please open the door.
Open the door.
Yo!
Keep going. He'll speak like he's a
police, open the door.
But we're not going to be here, believe me. Must come down. Yeah, would you like it to be your child?
Oh, no, I know.
Okay, think about that. Whomever.
Because the officers were unable to witness firsthand someone firing a gun, no arrests were made, and there is a lot of concern that things will only get worse before they get better by the strike of midnight. In Kensington, I'm Michele McCormack, Channel 6 Action News.
In India, the new year came with an extra measure of joy for 155 former hostages and their families. The crew and passengers arrived here today after being freed in Afghanistan after 8 tense days on that hijacked Indian Airlines jet. The 5 hijackers freed the hostages in return for India's release of 3 Islamic prisoners. The hijackers then had 10 hours to flee Afghanistan. The Jersey Shore, always a popular place to welcome in the new year. New Jersey correspondent Lisa Quintana is now live in Ocean City. Lisa, what's the story there?
Hello, Jim. Yes, here in Ocean City, the first night is the biggest public celebration down at the shore. There were about 15 events lined up, including this dance party at the Civic Center, where over 900 people have come in to ring in the new year. There's lots of party hats, lots of balloons, lots of music, a very festive atmosphere indeed. That may be so, but in Ocean City, the party started long before midnight. Outdoor bands, a dance party, and a choir concert were all a part of first night. Ocean City sold over 6,000 tickets to this alcohol-free celebration, about 1,000 more than expected.
There's a lot to do for the kids. It's a lot of fun. We'll be back next year.
And Atlantic City party revelers hope the new year brings them lots of luck. The city expected over 250,000 visitors, but the crowds at the casino seemed more like a regular weekend night. Casino representatives and visitors don't expect the Y2K bug
to spoil the party.
It's exciting. Look at the lights. Look at just everything around us. It's wonderful. We're ready to party.
And I certainly have lots of little children here who are ready to party. They're staying up well past their bedtime. The party here at the Civic Center goes on until 1 a.m. Now, over in Atlantic City, there was some disappointment that there was no public fireworks show tonight, but here in Ocean City, come midnight, there will be a fireworks show at 6th Street and the beach. Live from Ocean City, I'm Lisa Quintana, Channel 6 Action News.
Those kids are up late tonight, Lisa, but if not tonight, when?
Okay, that's for certain, and they seem pretty happy, especially to be on TV. A nice Millennium present.
Thank you, Lisa Quintana. Now let's turn to Delaware correspondent Lauren Wilson, live at Wilmington's first night celebration. Lauren?
Jim, we're live on Wilmington's riverfront along with about 30,000 other people. That's down about 10,000 from last year. The festivities here will culminate with a mass wedding for 150 couples. Then, of course, there will be fireworks at midnight. All this a part of an annual event called First Night. It's live entertainment all night long. This African dance troupe captivated the crowd at the Wilmington Public Library tonight. Cultural activities are a big part of this family-oriented, alcohol-free event. Large tents have been erected downtown and businesses opened their doors so more than 30 musicians and other entertainers could help bring in the new year. There's lots of food and fun for young and old alike, and plenty of police on hand to make certain First Night goes off without a hitch. Again, there will be fireworks at midnight and then a performance by a group called the Rippingtons. They will dedicate their show to Grover Washington. He, of course, was the scheduled guest before his untimely death. Live in Wilmington, Lauren Wilson, Channel 6 Action News.
Thank you, Lauren. An old friend is back in town tonight to celebrate the new year. Here's Gary Pop.
Dick Vermeil is here because of Y2K concerns. Rams had a fly-in tonight, getting set for Sunday's game. And here comes Dick Vermeil in town tonight in Center City, Philadelphia, with a 13-win football team. Even tonight, the hard-working Vermeil says, we're going to put the playbooks aside. We're having a party with our Ram team. We're celebrating.
I think they're excited. We're going to have a New Year's party tonight as an organization, and Georgia Frontier and Stan Kroenke are sponsoring it. It'll be a nice evening, and we'll relax tonight and then get ready to go back to work tomorrow.
Rams and Dick Vermeil all set for Sunday. Donovan McNabb will be starting at quarterback against Dick Vermeil and the St. Louis Rams. College football, Y2K, Y2Pay for LaVar Arrington, the Penn State linebacker, had his whole high school today in Pittsburgh to decide, should I jump to the NFL? One deep breath, and he says, here goes.
I'm going to forego my senior year, and I'm going to go and enter into the draft next year. This coming draft 2000.
A popular decision at his old high school. He could be one of the top picks this year, NFL. Best bowl game today, the Sun Bowl. Oregon was down, but Joey Harrington to Keenan Howry. That's how Oregon wins the game by the score of 24-20. That was the Sun Bowl. Tomorrow we have everything. We got the Citrus Bowl for you, 1 o'clock. Michigan State versus Florida. We got the Rose Bowl coming up as well, of course. Wisconsin versus Stanford. We have, after that, the Orange Bowl tomorrow night. Alabama versus Michigan. Sunday night Fiesta time here on Channel 6, as always. Sunday night Fiesta time, 8 o'clock. Nebraska versus Tennessee. Tuesday night it is title game time with the Sugar Bowl. Virginia Tech versus Florida State coming up Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Flyers and Sixers off tonight, but there'll be an action over the weekend. Always Fiesta time here as well. Happy New Year, Y2K.
Has he had his glass of champagne yet?
Eggnog.
I think he might have.
Eggnog.
All right, here are tonight's Pennsylvania lottery numbers. And Dave Roberts with the AccuWeather forecast. Y2K from AccuWeather.
Oh, here we go. Clear skies out there, some patchy fog. Let's take this live shot now. It will give you the current numbers. They're doing lots of skating tonight at the River Rink, as well they should. Big crowd. Okay. And the numbers are, present temperature reading, thank you, 34 degrees, relative humidity 96%. The barometer is 30.22. It's on the rise. The winds are calm. The ocean water temperature is 46 degrees. Let's take a look at the exclusive AccuWeather 5-day forecast. That's what we're looking for, the 5-day forecast. Do we have it?
Y2K.
Y2K. There it is. Thank you very much. Clear. Late fog, 27 to 32. Those folks out later on, early morning hours, be careful of that. Saturday becoming sunny, 53 degrees, looks excellent. Even milder on Sunday, 58 degrees. More clouds, mild, 56 degrees. Maybe a shower on Monday, Tuesday. Cloudy, still mild, 52. Sun and clouds, 44 degrees on Wednesday. It's the ACCU-WEATHER 5-day forecast. We're looking pretty good. No problems.
I'd say
Almost.
we are. As the nation prepares to ring in the new millennium, the Mummers are gearing up for their annual New Year's Day tradition in Philadelphia. Action News was in South Philadelphia tonight as Mummers attended Mass at Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church. The Mummers and other members of the congregation then gathered outside the church to bury a time capsule. The Mummers will gather on Market Street tomorrow for the annual New Year's Day Mummers Parade, which gets underway at 6:15 in the